So welcome to our presentation. My name's Casey. You're here because you're someone who you're maybe on the Isagenix products and you want to learn a little bit more about the sharing side, the opportunity side, because people are asking you what on earth you're doing and what's gotten into you. Or maybe you've been invited here because you're looking at Isagenix for the opportunity. And so I'm just going to do a little story for you guys tonight, show you some facts and some figures, and just kind of paint a picture of what's possible with Isagenix. I'm going to give you example of my earnings, talk about other earnings. This is not a get in and get rich quick. This is opportunity for those who want to help people. We also talk about, we're going to talk about some of the products. You can always go to isagenixhealth.net, see our, our clinical trials and things like that. So obviously, everybody's results can be different. We don't make any medical claims. We don't cure, treat, diagnose, or prevent anything. But truly, Isagenix has changed my life, and it's just introduced me to a whole different thought process and really what's possible out there. So I started Isagenix back in August of 2012. And I just started it really for the health aspect. I wanted to lose 10 pounds. I released 12 pounds, which was awesome. My mom, she's released 30 pounds. And when I was a night shift nurse and I was living on Red Bull, coffee, Diet Mountain Dew. I wasn't sleeping well. I didn't have energy. And this light switch went on with these products, and I was watching children lose their life. And I got educated. I didn't know about, all the crap in food, GMOs, herbicides, pesticides, fillers. And when I really learned about cellular cleansing and what Isagenix was, I knew I was going to be talking about it. And then I looked at the opportunity aspect of it further into just getting my products paid for, making an extra couple $100. And I saw it as a vehicle to retire my husband. And that's really how I got started. As I went to an event in January of 2013 after I read a book called The 4-Year Career. And I've literally been able to make my office wherever it is that I want now. I replaced my nursing income. I was able to replace his income. I've more than tripled those incomes combined. And so it's really allowed me a life of freedom. And I believe in earning more to give more. I love children and I love animals. So those are two things that I love to put my resources to. And these are my kids that I'm able to sponsor around the world because of Isagenix. And when you have passive income, like, what are you passionate about? How would you like to show up into the world, and what kind of impact would you like to make for others? And that's a motto and a core value of Isagenix is giving back. And so when I looked in the mirror one day and I was in my scrubs and I was kind of disgusted at the medical industry. I was disgusted with the politics. I was upset that we didn't talk at all about nutrition. And I just looked and I said, is this it for the next 40 years? My back hurt from when I worked with the adults and lifting them. And it was, I had chosen that life, but I didn't have to stay there. And when I was no longer as passionate in the medical field as I was about, sharing this gift of Isagenix with people, I thought about, well, how many hours am I spending at work? And think about how many people do you know, or how many hours are you putting something in that you're maybe not as passionate about, or it doesn't fire you up to get out of bed every single day. And so when I really kind of looked at all of that and I saw what Isagenix was, I had to dive into it. And it's just all about creating the life that you want and using it for your vehicle, because everybody's goals and visions are different. So I'm going to talk about these criteria that really make up our opportunity with Isagenix. So what are our market trends? What are the solutions that we offer to people who have problems? And then what's the partnership that Isagenix really is? And what separates Isagenix apart from other things out there in the same market? So, you guys, we don't have to be rocket science to understand this. There is an epidemic going on of obesity, people who are overweight. It's with our children, and really it's our food sources. Even when you're, eating, quote unquote, good foods, we're still getting tons of crap in it. And it's just really, causing people to put on excess weight for protection. So it is a global problem. Not to mention, in the US alone, almost 70% of people in North America alone are considered overweight or obese. So you can just look around. There's a real need for weight loss solutions. Although Isagenix is not a weight loss company, we are a wellness company. We just happen to have weight loss solutions. Also, being a wellness company, of course, we're going to focus on fitness and performance and energy. Gyms alone, look at, $75 billion for gyms alone. Then you think about all the vitamin shops, the health food stores. I mean, it's massive what people are wanting to spend their money on because they do want to age gracefully, which brings us to anti-aging. That also is a massive industry projected to just keep growing and growing. I mean, how many people do you know that want to age gracefully? I mean, everybody, right? So that you're in a business that covers every single one of those market trends. And then you think about the need for money. And, a really big problem right now is for sure student loans and kids getting out of college. 8% front loaded loans. People are having to take on 2 jobs, waitressing jobs, bartending, just to make ends meet. Or then they're going to go back to school to defer those student loan payments, take out more debt. So that student loan debt is higher than credit card debt, and I believe it's what's going to cripple middle class. So there's an issue in itself. But taxes are going to go up, right? Taxes are not going down, they're going up. So, you really think about just people are praying for a solution to how they can earn more money. And so, do you know people that are stressed about money? They say that that's the number one cause of divorce is money. And, people being unsatisfied going to work too. So, I mean, there definitely is a desire for more ways to produce more income. And so when you are able to solve other people's problems, that allows you to produce an income for yourself. And we already talked about, all those innovative, products that we have for those industries and those market trends, which is why wealth creation is also an opportunity with the vehicle of network marketing. And I just want to say, I believe first and foremost, I don't believe it, I know it. Isagenix set out to be the largest health and wellness company. They didn't set out to be the largest network marketing company. And so at the forefront is our integrity in our products. And that's really what separates us apart from what I've seen out there. And, I don't know of any other company that triple test their products, and Isagenix does do that. So you won't find the science is remarkable, and you can again go to isagenixhealth.net for science. So these are our 5 core pillars of health, and you can always ask someone if you want to learn more about the products. This is opportunity focused webinar for one of our videos. If you're in our product pages, if you're not, I encourage you to ask someone to put you in there. Or if you're, wanting one of our webinars on our products, we do those occasionally. Feel free to ask for that information. But it really is, we're really just taking money that people are already spending. I mean, $3 for a meal, and guys, it's absolutely delicious. And, people aren't getting wholesome meals anymore. And so this is just such a great way. The cleansing, I'm cleansing today. It just allows your body to do what it's naturally designed to do. This is our mineral drink. I've had it twice today on my cleanse day. I love it. Athletes love it. Moms love it. You can use it to wake up, to go to sleep, but really we're deficient in a lot of minerals and adaptogens, and then of course our Ageless Essentials with Product B. So those are our 5 core pillars of health. But again, we really are a grocery store. How would you like to have 6% of people's grocery when they go shopping, right? So that's really what Isagenix is, and you get to collect 6% on your own groceries. So what I love though here is this clinical trials that we do, and that they are independently done, not by Isagenix. And I truly do, I believe that we're saving lives because when people, get visceral fat off, what that does for the body, it's just remarkable. And then to get nutrition in people's body and make it easy, convenient, affordable. Then, I want to talk a minute about the baby boomers because, they account for 50% of the economy. Now, for the next 15 years, 10,000 people a day are turning the age 65 or older. And 1 out of every $2 they're spending it on their health. Health is not a lot. Everybody wants it. Everybody deserves it. And so thus brings us to the wealth creation. So I want to talk to you about wealth in terms of time and residual income. I didn't know about residual income or passive income. So if you had $12,000 in savings and you had $4,000 per month in expenses, your wealth would be for 3 months. So I want to ask you this question: what's the number of days right now that you could survive without physically working and still maintain your standard of living? Robert Kiyosaki, he's wrote the #1 best time finance book selling of all time. There we go, called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And he also wrote the book, The Business of the 21st Century, where he says network marketing is the way to go. So, truly, like how long could you survive without bringing money in? And so that's just really why it's important to have passive income and residual. So network marketing, at $182 billion in 2015, health and beauty dominate the direct selling industry. We're in both, and there's truly no limit to the earning potential. And so I believe it to be the perfect business model. And if you're like me, though, you're kind of standoffish from network marketing if you're just taking a look at it for possibility. I know I was. But look at what it pulled back in 2012, and then look at what the NFL, the music industry, video gaming pulled in. All three of those combined, those massive industries, didn't even pull in what network marketing did together. So it's a viable way to move product. And with social media and word of mouth, I believe one day it's not going to be, are you in network marketing? It's going to be which company. And truly, to be aligned with Isagenix, I mean, I'm so grateful every single day for Jennifer for introducing me to this, because Jim and Kathy are the real deal. Now, John Anderson, he would formulate products for a lot of companies. And then what would happen is they would put fillers in them. And so he got very disgusted with the industry, the nutrition industry, because they were just completely taking his perfect product and making it not good. And so he reached out to Jim and Kathy Coover to come out of retirement. They were in retirement. Kathy Coover had been in 3 companies before, had built teams and rose to the top. They did her wrong. So she's an associate, just like me, just like many people on here. If you've been invited to this, she knows what it's like to be in the field and how important it is to have an organization that's structured around doing what's right for the associate and for the customers. Jim Coover had taken struggling companies to billion-dollar companies, so he really knows the infrastructure of the business. And their son, Eric Coover, is going to be the one taking it over, and it's a legacy company. You can will your spot to your children. And what I honor so much about Jim and Kathy and Eric too, he's not just given this company, he had to build a 6-figure business as an associate before he went to work for corporate, so that he knows what the associates go through. So when you talk about a legacy company that's staying private, that's going to be here for your children, that's so important. Like, why would I want to put my time into another company who just goes public with shareholders, stockholders, and where profits bottom line, not integrity of product? And so we're ranked number 22 now, and we're over $4 billion. And really, John Anderson's just a master. And the more you learn about his experience and what he knows about nutrition and minerals, just the more exciting it is. So all of that has created this vision. And it's, the Isagenix vision is to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. And in the process, create the largest health and wellness company in the world. And we're doing it through network marketing. And Kathy has another vision to have more 6- and 7-figure income earners than any other company. And I guarantee you at the events, it's remarkable how many people are on stage as 6-figure earners, truly. And we're also global. So anywhere that Isagenix is open to do business, you can do business there. We have an international market, and we're just getting started with that. And I have teams in international markets because of social media. How easy does social media make it to connect these days? Start Your Life is also 18 to 35. It's one of our fastest growing demographics. And, we're doing it through social media. And then I see people who aren't even on social media that start Isagenix and then get on social media to start expanding themselves. So it doesn't matter where you are with social media. You can always start and learn it. So we just talked about all those things that set up Isagenix, and truly Isagenix also wants to pay out more in compensation than any other company, and to have the training and support and really the tools that Kathy Coover knows are required because she was in the field. Timing and positioning, we're just now hitting momentum. That's the time to definitely, people talk about getting in startup companies. I don't know that I would have the kahunas to get in a startup company. I mean, 90% of those fail. So with Isagenix having a 14-year track record now, and things just continuing to get better and better, and really to have the money to put back into the products and the corporate staff, and to put out into the field and just keep adding bonuses. I mean, now to me is just the perfect time to get started in Isagenix. And people want to know, well, how does it work? Well, we use the products, and I don't expect anybody to do this business if you don't have a love affair with these products. I love these products. I can't imagine not putting them in my body. Then we're going to share it. We're going to share it with people who just want to be customers. They don't want to do the business. They just want to consume the product. That's going to be 83% of people statistically just use the product. Then we're going to identify people who want to share it casually. They don't want to build this business. Maybe they just want to get their products paid for, help their friends and family feel better, create an extra couple $100, $200, $500,000 a month, what I consider sharers. And then we're going to have business partners, people who see this as the thing they've been on their hands and knees for, wondering how on earth they're not going to be stressed anymore. They're going to have time freedom. They're going to have that financial relief, and they're going to build a business with you. But a lot of times, though, it doesn't start out where you're going gung-ho. Most people do start out in their spare or part-time, and then they can transition further. But I know people who have, many things that they do, and they do build a incredible six-figure business, as just a part-time thing over time. So it's incredible what you can do with this vehicle. And I don't know about you guys, but I said, is this a pyramid scheme? Because I was very uneducated. And there are bad companies out there in network marketing, and there's stellar companies out there in network marketing. And Isagenix to me is the top. Just like in any kind of industry, there's going to be good and bad. But first off, I want to say this, that pyramid schemes are illegal, right? That is when there is no exchange of a product, good, or service. We just went over some of our products. Again, we're a grocery store, so very consumable. We looked at those market trends. So Isagenix is solving people's problems with products, okay? So we have an incredible product. So that, first off, it can't be a pyramid scheme for that right there. Now, I want to ask you, take any job that you've ever worked in and draw out the company. And I promise you, unless it is a sole proprietor business and you are your own business owner and you don't have any employees, it is going to look like a pyramid structure. And so I use a nurse because here I was down here as a nurse. Could I ever get to the salary of the CEO of the hospital no matter how much I worked? No, not going to happen, because I was in a pyramid structure where I was paid based on my title, not paid based on my service or production. And so again, it's corporations, draw them out. They look like a triangle. But in this, I actually out earn a lot of people above me because I'm producing more, okay, throughout my organization. And so it's the most fair business model I've personally ever come across. So this is the book I was referring to earlier, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, 95% of the population is on the left side of the quadrant, with 5% being on the right. Well, 5% of the population controls 95% of the wealth. Why is that? I think they have something figured out. It's not a coincidence. When you're an employee, you trade time for money. You stop working, you stop getting paid. When you're a small business owner, that business ends up owning you. Ask any small business owner, most of them are exhausted. They've poured their heart and soul. Most of them don't turn profit for the first 3 years. They have massive initial investment and capital that has to be put out. They're taking out loans. Very, very stressful. Then you have big business. A small business can turn into a big business, franchising out, things like that, selling it out, whatnot. But the thing is leverage needs to happen for you to be in big business. You need to be able to leverage your time and create just an excess of income that then you can put into investments. Now, me and my husband are into many investments because we had passive income. So our money is now able to put overalls on and go to work for us instead of us working for money around the clock, right? So I'm going to talk to you about leverage, and I want to ask you in terms of your time. I want you guys to think in terms of time. So one person at 8 hours a day for 5 days a week is 40 hours. Okay. So $10 an hour is $400. Easy enough. Now take just 10 people going to work for just 1.5 hours a day for 5 days a week. You're at 75 hours now total, right? Easy enough to do that math. Well, 75 hours is being able to be produced now from 10 people just doing 1.5 hours of work. Take 20 people doing 1.5 hours of work in an average work week, 5 days a week. Okay, that's 150 hours total being produced. Now, if you yourself were working 5 days a week, 24 hours a day, the max amount that you could produce in terms of time and production is 120 hours. That's why leverage is so powerful in this organization. I leverage people below me. I leverage people above me. People below me leverage me. They leverage people below them. We're all leveraging each other, which allows us to produce way more than we could off of our sole efforts. So there's many ways to get paid in Isagenix, and I'm going to invite you, if you want to know about all the bonuses, to watch a compensation plan. There's one on icemovie.com that Jim Cooper does. It goes over all these bonuses. We can easily get bonuses to get our system paid. $10,000, $13,000 actually up front in bonuses for two if you want to go faster. But I want to talk about the residual. I want to talk about making money while you sleep long term. So Isagenix is going to pay you on this little card here. They're going to send it to you and they're going to load it, and then you can do whatever you want with the money. I personally put mine in a corporation, a bank account at this point, but you can transfer it over to your bank account. You can use it as a debit card, credit card, whatever you want to do with it. You can buy products with it, buy clothes with it, whatever. So there's the weekly pay of the 6%, which is the residual. Okay. Now, a lot of the other bonuses and stuff to me too are also residual because it's just, it just has to do with your development. But I'm really going to just focus on the 6% of business volume for unlimited depth. You can build as many business centers as you want to 702,000 a year. And if you're an executive, you can match 702,000 a year, meaning 1.4 million, okay, for each business center. But again, I'm just going to focus on the 6%, take the executive match out of it. Every single product in Isagenix has a point value, right? And so those points go into like a little vault. They're just sitting there. I know people that have millions of points in a vault because they're just product users. If you're actively consuming Isagenix products and you're getting them every single month, you are collecting volume in a vault. Now, what happens is when you have 900 points, 600 on one side and 300 on another, we pay out 6% of all of our volume, which comes to 54. 900 times 6%, $54. So in Isagenix, we don't get paid on levels. People say it's this multi-level marketing. Yeah, I really don't think so because there's no levels involved here. Again, it's unlimited depth. I could be earning 6%, somebody like literally a million levels down in my organization if that's where a lot of volume started coming out of. So 600 on one side, 300 on another generates your 900 points. That is your cycle. Okay, that's what pays weekly right there. That's 6% every single Monday unless it's a holiday. So my question to you is this, is over time, can we educate 2 people on our left and 2 people on our right who get it? Because this right here is our entire compensation plan. We introduce somebody on our left, we introduce somebody on our right to this system, right? And we show them how to do the same thing. Our entire compensation plan is you plus 2, them plus 2. We just do that over and over again. And so over time, can you find 2 people who get it on your left and 2 people on your right who understand these numbers? Everybody's talking about how great they're sleeping on Isagenix. I can't sleep. I understand these numbers. So I'm excited to tell the world about it. Because what happens is people to do this business, if you're somebody that's doing this business, our overhead is $150 approximately a month, which accounts for the 100 points, okay? But, are you spending $150 on food, on junk? I know I was. So I reallocated the money that I was spending already to better nutrition Isagenix, and that's my overhead. And I personally, with my accountant, we write that off. So that's my overhead, and that's what allows me to do geometric progression. So when you have 4 people that understand this, take product users out of it. Let's just say it's just the people purchasing the minimum amount to be active to do this business, and the 2 on your left and the 2 on your right keeps duplicating. That 4 each enroll 4. That becomes 16. 16 each enroll 4. That becomes 64. 64 each enroll 4. 256. Now you have a combined 340 people just from the original 4. If they're just purchasing the minimum to participate in the opportunity aspect of it, of their food, that's $51,000 of product moving through your organization. That's $2,000 a month in the residual 6% income. Now take it a step further. Maybe that took somebody 3 years, right? Maybe it took you less. I mean, I see people do it way sooner. Maybe it's going to take you longer. I don't know. But that 256 each enrolls 4, guys, that's a massive quantum leap right there, where now you have over 1,300 people in your organization doing over $200,000 a month if they're purchasing, again, just the minimum. And let me tell you, people purchase way more than the minimum that love Isagenix, but that's $8,000 a month, more than that, in residual income from people just doing the minimum. Take it a step further, right? Now you've had another massive quantum leap. See how it really starts to duplicate itself though and multiply itself? So when you get to a point where you just have so many people, consuming the products, and that would be over $800,000 of products moving through your organization, that's 6% from, again, just orders going out monthly, whether you're doing something or not at that point. $32,000 a month in residual income. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was never going to get to that as a nurse. And I went to school for 6 years and spent tens of thousands of dollars for my education and spent hundreds of hours going to school and going to clinical and doing schoolwork. And I certainly was never going to get to earn this. So I asked people, why would you invest so much time in traditional, what we should do, go to school, get a job, work for 40 years, have a 401k, hope it's there when you get out, pray that the stock market doesn't, why would I do that forever when I can do this, learn a skill set, become proficient at it, and help a lot of people understand this and how to get these products, and then how to show other people how to generate this kind of income. So these are my earnings. And again, you can go to isagenixearnings.com. This isn't saying get in, this is what you're going to earn, or, everybody's organization is different. But it took me a year to get to my nursing salary. Every single 2 weeks, I earned $1,200 as a nurse working 36 hours. If I worked an extra 12-hour shift, I would earn $1,500 for that overtime every 2 weeks. So $3,000 a month, right? And again, that was 6 years that I went to school for that degree. So in a year, I was able to give myself more than a $10,000 raise. Now, as a nurse, I received a $1.50 raise, as a nurse. So my highest month to date so far has been $57,000. This was actually a month that I took off a lot of time. My husband had just recently gotten back from deployment. God bless him. He can retire any day he wants, but he says that there's good soldiers who need good men to bring them home. So if for all those who serve our country, be it if you're a firefighter, police officer, anybody in the service industry, military, just thank you so much for keeping us safe and doing what you do so that we can do this. And this is the thing though, the 6% will add up, and the same math that's happening in that whole thing where it climbs, it does take time. And again, a lot of that was bonuses. So a lot of this upfront money was bonuses. The 6%, this is when I hit what's called executive. I started playing an additional 10% mat, et cetera, et cetera. But this is what can be possible with work and commitment and time. And a mentor asked me this: would you rather $1 million right now or a penny that doubles but only for 30 days? And I even knew about geometric progression, and I was still probably $1 million would still be more than a penny, right? 1 cent, 2 cent, 4 cent, 8, 16, 32 cents on day 6, right? Just 32 cents. So that little penny duplicating itself, which is the same thing as 4 people who get it, that keep educating for other people who get it. The same figures, because we're not on levels, because it's throughout our entire organization, truly unlimited debt, the same math that's applying to this penny is just equivalent to the same kind of math that's happening in our organization, in our pay plan. That penny comes to over $5 million. You guys, when I got this, when it really sunk in, if this doesn't, if you can sleep tonight, or your like wheels aren't spinning, or you're not maybe considering like doing this, I would encourage you to watch it again, because my heart, I just truly believe the only people who don't do this, they just cannot possibly understand it. Truly, that's my wholehearted belief. So just like anything, right? Put money down here. Put time freedom, put whatever it is that drives you. For me, I wanted to retire my husband. That was my driving factor for when I had to learn something new, or maybe get outside of my comfort zone. But here's the thing, the time does have to be put in. But just like how I had my highest month to date when we were on vacation, he had just gotten back, I had worked less than I had ever before through a month with Isagenix being full time, but yet I had my highest month. Because this is not a traditional compensation plan where when you retire or whatnot, right, you have to take a massive cut. So as you put in the time, it gets better and better. And so for me, it's the greatest decision I ever made. And it's not even like saying this is direct sales, because in direct sales, it's like saying, hey, look, you buy as many sodas as that you want from me for $1, turn around and sell them for $2. What happens when you stop selling them? You stop making money. Well, I want to help everybody get their initial vending machine. That's what I'm going to do. And then Isagenix is going to ship that vending machine. They're going to restock it. They're going to do everything, the paperwork, the customer service, all of that. And all my job is, and all our jobs are to purchase our own, right, vending machine, our initial one, 12 to 40 bucks, and then just educate other people how to do the same. And then anything that moves throughout that vending machine, 6% on that, long after the initial education and introduction to them and showing them how to get that. That's what this is, right? So anytime something moves to that vending machine, and Isagenix is stocking it, I'm not stocking it. I didn't want to talk to strangers. I didn't want to bother friends and family. I didn't know how to use social media. I didn't want to talk in front of people. I certainly didn't want to give presentations when I started Isagenix. But it's just, you get a little bit better each day. And if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, just say yes. Learn how to do it later. You earn as you learn. You learn as you go. The team, the support, the company, everything is so incredible to learn it. And it really is as simple getting started, consuming the products, having a story and sharing that story. And when I saw that our number one income earner started at 74 years old, he's earned, him and his family, over $40 million with Isagenix. He said when he found there was a business where he could spend a few $100 to get started, eat his overhead, become healthy, fail 90% of the time, and get obscenely wealthy, what do you think I said? He said yes, right? So when I saw this cute little man, 74 years old, who started, being like, okay, now he's in his, rocking his 80s up on stage, throwing punches and dancing. I was like, surely I can learn how to do this. So I want to thank you all for joining us. Just get back to whoever invited you to this presentation to learn more. Check out our product pages for all your product information that you want to know. And, we've got great websites that show everything too. So I just want to thank you all for your time. I know you can spend your time doing anything, but my heart to your heart, I hope that you really take a look at this if you're praying for something that can really change your life, because I see it change people's lives every single day. I see moms coming home with their kids. I see people getting out of just that financial pain. I see people being able to send their kids to college, paying off student loans, and it's just such a gift. So I maybe just say, what if this is the real deal? Because I assure you that it is. So thank you all so much for joining.